Hello everybody, it's a writer here and welcome to today's live stream. Today we have something extremely exciting going on. As you can see, I have a fresh install of Windows right here in front of me. And that is because I built a PC. I have successfully built a super duper cool PC. It's a little bit on the overpowered side if I don't say so myself. Is that how the phrase goes? If I do say so myself, that's how that one goes. So what I have in this PC, let's go ahead and fire up Task Manager. And we could go ahead and take a look under the hood of this thing because it is just insane what I have in here. Let's start off with the CPU. We have an AMD Ryzen 7 3800X. That is 8 cores, 16 threads, with a base clock of 3.9 gigahertz and turbo up to 4.5 gigahertz. We have 32 megabyte L3 cache, 4 megabyte L2 cache, and 512 kilobyte L1 cache. Moving on to memory, we have 16 gigabytes DDR4, 30 or 3 yes, 16 gigabytes DDR4, 3000 megahertz memory. So we have lots and lots and lots of memory that we could use. For my disk, I have a Samsung SSD Evo 500 gigabytes. It's a really good disk, and it's pretty dang fast too, so we don't have to worry about speeds there. The nice thing is actually this computer comes with built-in wireless, so I'm using that right now because there are no Ethernet ports around me at this very moment. And finally, the star of the show, the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 Super. This GPU is absolute insanity. It is super duper efficient. It can do lots and lots of crazy things. So let's go ahead and actually run a couple stress tests. I'm going to be using Geekbench 5 as my stress test for this computer. So let's go ahead and start with a CPU stress test. So this is going to test our Ryzen 7 3800X. So the CPU benchmark, basically what it does is it separates out and gives us two total scores. We have our single-threaded or single-core score and multi-core score. So what we will expect is to see a low single-core score and a higher multi-core score. We could always compare things on Geekbench, but I believe pretty decent numbers on here are about 1,000 for single core and about 8,000 for multi-core. So yeah, we have 8 total cores with 16 threads. So this is going to go ahead and run through all CPU heavy or centered around CPU heavy tests that it can do. So you could see like, oh, it's doing lots of stuff. Ray tracing is normally reserved for the GPU, but the CPU can do it as well. It's just nowhere near as efficient. CPUs are basically built to be a general purpose computing device. That's why they are the heart of your computer. Meanwhile, GPUs are dedicated to graphics, so they have more specific architecture in them that makes them better with graphics overall. Oh, another real cool thing that I have on here. You can see it is quite new. Let's see, we have... Where is it? Here it is. Basically, lots of this computer is RGB enabled. So I could go ahead and actually just change the colors of my PC at any moment. Right now I have it cycling through the rainbow, but you can see there is a lot of different options and it is super duper cool. I could make it go fast, I could make it go slow, and there's so many different options. Let's go ahead and see where our CPU benchmark is at. It's running HDR right now. This is probably a multi-core. I'm not going to do anything too CPU heavy while it's running, so we're getting close. We're about 90-ish percent, 95% of the way there. Going through speech recognition right now. Hopefully I could tell what I'm saying. And I hope that you all could hear me. If I need to adjust anything, just let me know. Oh, gross. It opened up with Edge. I have Chrome installed. But as you can see, we have 1294 for our single core score. That is pretty dang good. And 8039 for our multi-core. So this CPU is pretty epic. We could do a lot of stuff from the CPU, and it is very snappy. As you can see, like the entire thing is snappy. So we have a couple benchmarks for our GeForce RTX. We are going to be doing OpenCL since that is the primary GPU benchmark that Intel GPUs, Radeon GPUs, and NVIDIA GPUs can all indeed do. I know the CUDA compute API, CUDA cores are specific to NVIDIA, so we will not be running those while on this computer. As you can see, this is actually going by insanely fast. Uh, it might even it will definitely take less than a minute. Significantly faster than our CPU. Wow, that was really fast. 86,901. I actually have run this test before. Uh, and if we go ahead and I have the results in a personal Discord message. So if we open up our Discord and look at it, actually this did better, or no, this did worse than before. OpenCL before did 92,637. I also wasn't streaming during that, so that could definitely affect the results. That definitely will affect the results, as streaming does indeed use your GPU if you have one available. So let's go ahead and X out of here and launch some Minecraft. We are going to be starting off with Minecraft Bedrock Edition, since that is the primary edition of Minecraft that I play. You could see how snappy that was when actually loading up. Let's see if it will let me sign in. Perfect. Alright, can you load my little character, please? I would like for that to happen. Let's actually create a new world. We're going to just name this one as Stream World. We're going to set the default game mode to creative. Let's do simulation distance of 12 chunks. Let's make sure everything is just about as high end as we can get in Bedrock Edition. Alright, let's go ahead. So, whoa, look at that render distance. It just goes on and on. It does not stop. Whoa. Look, you can see a village all the way over there. I don't know how well you can see that on the stream, but right where my crosshair is pointing, just right above that, there's a village. Yeah, it just doesn't stop. What is our current render distance at? Damn, 80 chunks. Okay, that is a lot of chunks. Let's go ahead and see. So each chunk is 16 blocks. So if we're loading 80 chunks, we are loading within a radius of 1,280 blocks. That's insane. So I actually think if we go ahead and go to the end, we will be able to load in the end island. That's very it should be quieter for you as I have indeed turned down the volume. So let's see, if we just stare off in this direction, look out into the void. Will the void give us anything back? It's a good question. So the end islands are about 1,000 blocks away. So we have, oh yeah. Look at that. Holy cow. We could see the end islands from the main island. This is crazy. Wow. Insane. So you can see just how good this GPU is and this computer is to be able to do that. Now, unfortunately, there isn't a lot to show with Bedrock Edition because this is about it. You don't get to turn on any fancy features graphic-wise or turn on... Or wait, I actually think there is one thing. I'm typing on a new keyboard as well. Give myself a command block. Perfect. All right, so what we can do is have a see how many entities that we can summon in. So let's go ahead and do /summon. What do we want to summon in? We could do we want to, we could do the most useless mob in the game. How about we summon in bats? Alright, I am seeing no lag so far on my end. Everything is smooth. We still have that render distance all the way up. There are so many bats. Oh, I'm starting to see some frame hitches now. Yeah, there's a couple little bit of jerky spots, especially when you load all the entities. But it's still doing really, really well. Let's go ahead and look at our task manager, see how much memory this is using up. Also, the bat noise no longer sounds real. And it still looks like this is playable. There are so many entities. Let me just real quick turn the volume off because that is super duper loud. But I am barely getting any frame hitches right now. It's a little bit jerky actually now. But let's go ahead and look at that. Just so many. Dear Lord. That's a lot of bats. And the game, oh, yep, there is the frame hitches. Now it's starting to get a little bit jerky. So let's go ahead and break this command block. And look at what's happening over here. So we're using about 6.3 gigabytes of memory. Our CPU usage only went up to about 14%. And our GPU usage did go quite up. It's hovering about 30% right now. It's like in between 15 and 40% for the most part. So actually that's pretty dang impressive. I am very, very happy with that. Let's go ahead and close out Bedrock Edition. Also, you can see how snappy this PC is. It's just like, there we go. It's loaded up. Let's turn our volume back on now. We are going to start off with 1.14.4 with Optifine installed because I want to show you how well this computer runs with shaders. So what we will do is we're going to go ahead. Actually, we're going to turn off shaders first. So we're going to, there we go. Also, I will actually turn off that music. Music and sounds, master volume on. We want music off. Okay, that should be good. All right, so let's go ahead and just create a new world and see how this runs. So I am playing with Optifine right now in 1.14.4, so it should be very, very smooth for Java Edition anyways. But yeah, loading this up, whoa. I don't think I have ever played Java Edition before on a PC that is this smooth. Holy cow. Yeah, it's a little bit jerky, of course, when you move around because it is Java Edition, but like, this is easily playable. Wow. This is quite amazing. We have the village over here. Let's go ahead and see what our frame rates are. Oh, I think we're at 7, here, just a sec. So if we go into video settings and turn VSync off, where is VSync? Oh, max frame rate, unlimited. Whoa, look at that. We are hitting 400 frames per second, 450-ish frames per second. Holy cow. That is wild. That is insane. Whoa. Holy cow. My brain just cannot comprehend, like, 400 to 450 frames per second. That is, look at that. 518, 530. 556, 563. If I don't load entities, it goes right up. I think we max out at 558, but I wasn't looking at the screen. So let's see what happens if we just like look direct. 685, 702, 738. Holy cow. What is this? This is insane. 745. 750. We made it to 750. Okay, let's see what happens when we add shaders into the mix. So I know on my old PC, if we turn shaders on, it would die a little bit and take forever to load. So let's see how long it takes to load the shaders. That took no time whatsoever. As you can see, our frame rates are indeed significantly down, but we are sitting at 125 frames per second with shaders on. This is wild. So this is Sonic Youth's unbelievable shaders, and it is so smooth. Like there's no hitches in the frame. If we open it up, we're at 100 frames per second. We are sitting at 100 frames per second. That is insanity. And normally I will have VSync on just because the monitor I am playing on is indeed only 70 frames per second, or 75 frames per second. It's a 75 hertz refresh rate monitor. But look at this. Shaders on. I could just go around the world. Like minimal hitches. Even the water looks so pretty. I went into the water and I got a boat recipe. That's fun. Yeah, okay. But let's ramp it up a notch. Let's just make sure all of our video settings are at maximum. Alright, smooth line max, GUI scale, auto, dynamic lights fancy, we have shaders on, details, clouds, default, fancy, oh no, default, trees, fancy trees, okay, sky on, sun and moon, fog, fancy, translucent blocks, fancy, dropped items, fancy, vignette, fancy, rain and snow, fancy. All right, okay, we have everything set to the highest that you can. I honestly actually don't really like the way the leaves look on the highest resolution just because they looked far too noisy now. But let's go ahead and look at our frame rates. We're still sitting at 100 frames per second. 100 frames per second. That is wild. That is insane. That is like actually unbelievable. So let's like I said, we're going to ramp it up a notch now. We are going to go ahead and create a new amplified world. We're going to go into creative again. And we're just going to fire it up, create a new world. And this is going to be amplified terrain. Amplified is normally used only if you do have a beefy PC. And it turns out that that is the case. So I am genuinely curious and genuinely excited to see how this PC performs with amplified terrain. All right. Oh, wow. I forget how cool. Whoa, look at that. I love these shaders. That is insane. Oh my gosh. I actually have a request for Minecraft to do amplified terrain with shaders on. Because look at this. I would love to see some of those builds. In fact, I can download them and look at them with shaders on now that I have this insane PC. Like, holy cow. Let's go ahead and time set noon. There we go. Look at this. This is... Oh, we just had our first frame hitch there. And it looks like it doesn't want to load these chunks. Is the render distance set to? It's set to 12 chunks. Let's go ahead and see what our frame rates are. Back to game. Ready? Still 100 frames per second. This is insanity. Like, okay, let's see what it is with the shaders off. Alright, loaded up, done. Holy cow. 800. We reached 800 frames per second. 800. We almost reached... Oh, there we go. 850. What happens if I just look up at the sky? We're getting 1,000 frames per second. My brain cannot handle this. Okay. Okay. This sure is crazy. My brain is a little bit broken. how am I able to get this many frames per second? Like, it makes sense when I'm looking at the world that's slower, but still 1,000 frames per second. Like, no hitches as I move around amplified terrain. Like, look at that. 600 frames per second as I am loading new chunks in amplified terrain. What is this? Props to NVIDIA. Like, holy cow. Your chips, I knew your chips were insane. I just didn't know exactly how insane they were. This is, my first time playing with a NVIDIA chip, and it is insanity. So let's go ahead and see what happens. How well does the world load if we speed it up? Oh, keep in mind that we are in 1.14. Let's actually go ahead and move. Speaking of which, let's move into 1.15. So if we go ahead and close Minecraft out and relaunch the launcher and go into the latest release of 1.15.1, we can see exactly what is up. So still have to download. Sorry about that. My Wi-Fi speeds aren't great at the moment, but hopefully the stream looks at least decent for you all. And I am super duper excited. Oh, another thing is now that I do have an RTX graphics card, when the RTX does indeed come out for Minecraft Bedrock, I will mess around with that and see whether or not I want to play with those shaders on, because I am super duper excited to see what NVIDIA does. This isn't the world that we were just in. But let's go ahead and see with the improvements that 1.15 made. We were at 500 frames per second. It does indeed take some time to calculate frames per second. So 200 frames per second is crazy. Holy cow. All right. Well, there isn't much other testing that I can do, but I'm going to just say this right now. I am super duper excited to make videos on this PC, because now that I have this, I will be able to record. Oh, I forgot ambient sounds are on. I never play with them on. I will be able to record at 1080p at 60 frames per second. Oh, there it goes. I need to turn off sticky keys. All right, 1080p at 60 frames per second. And that is super duper exciting. And that's just going to be higher quality videos and overall better channel content. But that is all I am going to be doing on the stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I will see you all in a future stream or a future video. Until then, have a wonderful day. And I will see you all later. Goodbye.